So my session was on authentic leadership, do you? This is one of the last sessions, and it was led by the president and president-elect of AOTA. And what they did was they kind of were all over the place, but they really opened it up to the chat, and like a lot of people put their opinions in, so I thought that was really cool. So they had like a couple different main points. So they defined authentic leadership as self-awareness, balanced processing, relational transparency, and internalized moral perspective. And what I thought was interesting was that they said self-awareness was the hardest, especially for the president of AOTA right now, Wendy. She said that was a hard thing that she had to overcome. They also said that leading is not just directing people under you. Leading is providing the people under you a safe space so they can lead themselves, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then an interesting point that they brought up was that like just because your values change, that doesn't mean that like you're not leading authentically. It just means that you're changing as we all do. And if you're not changing in the scope of becoming a clinician throughout your practice, then that's more of a concern than your views changing. There was another point that the president-elect Allison brought up, and she said that you're not inauthentic if how you act around different populations is different. So for example, she said how she acts around the elderly is going to be a lot different than how she acts around children. And it doesn't mean you're inauthentic, it just means using different versions of yourself. Another cool, interesting point that they brought up was for internalized moral perspective, if pro bono work was positive or negative for the profession. So on one hand, I guess it could be good because you're helping people that like can't afford it, or like because you're not expecting reimbursement. But it could be bad because you're kind of doing your profession a disservice. You are essentially like providing work for free, and if you're providing our skill and work for free, then why do people really need OTs anyways? And we do need to get paid and reimbursed in order to keep working and in order to keep doing the work that we do. So if you do too much pro bono work, that's actually a bad thing, which for me, I hadn't even considered. And then they really went over the challenges in authentic leadership and opened it up for the panel. And some challenges include self-doubt, uncertainness, and like no confidence, especially as a new clinician. I know I would definitely feel this way. Like I would have problems leading how I want because I would be unsure of my abilities at that point. So some solutions that the people in the chat in the workshop and the president-elect offered were, taking CEUs, and taking risks. So even if you think something that you say is stupid or like people won't respect, like you definitely should just take a chance and say it anyways. And I definitely, in order to keep my professional licensure, I really want to take CEUs, and I love kids, and I really hope that I can take enough CEUs and do all the steps possible so that I can become a certified pediatric occupational therapist. This is something that's pretty important to me, and I'm pretty sure I want to work with kids and I can make a difference. And then they offered some solutions. So some solutions for, challenges in authentic leadership could include commune OT, just relating to other people, joining Facebook groups so you connect with people around you to see how they feel, and they can kind of bring you up and make you reassured and that your ideas aren't stupid. And they also said using the DEI toolkit to increase diversity in your clinic. And then a question that I had for the class was, what will you do to build confidence as an OT and a leader in the field? So for me personally, I would, like I said, really take CEUs and take steps to become like recognized in the fields that I'm pretty passionate about, which is pediatrics. But you could do this in the things like aromatherapy, Reiki, just things you're really passionate and interested about, just so you have that education and that background. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I really liked this session. I thought it was pretty helpful.